Is TB-500 nasal spray effective? The nasal sprays are really interesting, and I have appreciated the opportunity to use something that is not an injection. And so in this video, we'll deconstruct whether TB-500, this nasal spray, if it's just vendor hype with zero lab data on absorption, or if it actually really works. Because peptide nasal reviews flag rapid clearance chaos, while TB-500 ghosts the evidence radar entirely. So maybe there's something to it. Injections own the research lane, but sprays sometimes are used for convenience. So what we'll talk about today is TB-500. It's total evidence void to separate lab reality from spray or bottle speculation. And if you've used TB-500 nasal sprays, I'd love to hear what your insights have been. What was your response to it? Did it actually work? And so then we can find out if this is a legitimate evolution in the peptide delivery or just somebody who has an idea. I'm Regan Archibald. I'm the founder of Ageless Future. I make these videos because I want to see you get healthier every single year. I think health is more contagious than disease. I've seen it in my own life, and I bet you've seen it too. We take every single person through a very precise concierge longevity medical program where there's peptides that are pulsed in the right fashion, and then we look at what's going to be best to manage the health of your brain and increase your brain performance, looking at improving muscle and body composition, and then optimizing your cardiorespiratory fitness. And so let's jump in. So thymosin beta-4, I love nasal sprays. And I've done a lot of things when it comes to peptides and regenerative medicine nasally. In fact, I used to have pretty severe ADHD, and I had an intranasal stem cell treatment with umbilical cord stem cells about maybe 12 years ago. It was a massive reset for my brain. And when I looked at the data, one of the hard things is getting stem cells through the blood-brain barrier. And so by the use of a device called a sphenocath, and by tilting your head back, there can be some migration. Now, people will dismiss it and say, oh, there's no evidence that can actually get through the blood-brain barrier. But if you think about the way that the olfactory nerves are, that sphenopalatine ganglion, just where the cribriform is in the sinuses, getting agents through the blood-brain barrier nasally is actually very well established. And if you don't believe me, then we've got this nasal spray called Glutastat, and it's got glutathione in it, oil of oregano, it's got some thyme and some oxytocin, and it's strong. But you will see a dramatic improvement in just your clarity of thinking after you spray that. As far as trials testing intranasal TB-500 absorption or bioavailability, couldn't find any published data measuring how much of the peptide crosses the nasal mucosa. There's no data showing bloodstream levels after spraying. We don't have imaging confirming like central nervous system penetration. So from a scientific standpoint, we don't really have any kind of radar on the data. Yes, this product exists commercially, but the lab validation is not there yet. And so many websites claim that the intranasal delivery bypasses the first pass metabolism, so you can access the brain via the olfactory pathways. But that doesn't always work if you don't have the right dosing. And this is where we've seen clients of ours who've been using TB-500. And while it's been studied intranasally, when it comes specifically to TB-500, there's no absorption data. And so generally speaking, you want to be spraying almost 10 times what you would be injecting. And many of these individuals were not doing that. Therefore, they may not have had that broader application and the utilization of this peptides. But when we zoom out to broader peptide science, there is a 2018 study. And what the study shows is that there are ways to reliably reach systemic circulation or the central nervous system through a spray bottle. And in this 2018 peer-reviewed journal published in the Journal of Drug Targeting titled Overview of Intranasally Delivered Peptides, Key Considerations from Successful Delivery. These researchers were out of the University of South Australia, and it was published in PubMed. We'll provide links in the show notes. But what this review examined is they looked at nasal absorption mechanisms. They looked at bioavailability challenges, and they also wanted to find out if it actually had the therapeutic benefits, and could it be a formulation strategy for peptides across preclinical models. And the conclusion was clear. Intranasal peptides face rapid mucociliary clearance, enzymatic degradation, and high variability, which can minimize people's ability to actually get the results that they're looking for. This is where you've got to have almost 10 times the strength of dosing in order to get the prescribed amount for the therapeutic benefit when it comes to TB-500 or almost any other nasal agent. The benefits of using intranasal is they do seem to be very safe. You're not going to have kind of that tissue response or that irritation on the skin, those bumps that can happen when you do inject peptides. But I think one of the areas of medicine that we're looking more and more into is how does delivery actually work? And you got that first pass bypass when it comes to the nasal delivery. So some of the things that we found to be very effective, glutathione intranasally, because glutathione is a molecule that can degrade in the environment pretty quickly. We've also found that nasal NAD can be a very powerful way to turn on that sirtuin activation in the brain and help protect the mitochondria, help protect your DNA, and turn on better energy in the brain. So if you're using TB-500 as a nasal spray, it may be something that you have benefited by personally and anecdotally. I don't know, but one of the things we do know that an injection is where you're going to get the highest concentration of that full therapeutic dose that you're aiming for. And so as you enter into this new field of peptide therapy, I see that there's so much noise out there. And the real way you can separate the noise from the signal is work with a team that actually runs the right labs. They're trained in functional medicine. They understand your goals, and they put you through a system, because 95% of failures occur because there's a lack of a system. At Ageless Future, our team, we have a team of nutritionists called health integrators. We have fitness advisors, and you have your executive medical provider. That teamwork allows you to put the work in that you need to put in, but it also allows you to predict the future health that you are going to accomplish because you've got the right agents in your system at the right time, and then these are cycled. So I'm Regan Archibald. If you want to go deeper and learn more about this, you can go to agelessfuture.com, schedule a free intro call with one of our health ascension specialists, and they'll help point you in the right direction. Appreciate you being on the show. I'll see you on the next video.